Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you watched the previous couple of episodes of the Lake House build series, you would have seen us setting the fiberglass columns and trusses for the front porch. If you haven't seen those episodes, be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out the playlist to find them. In this episode, we are moving on to covering the front porch trusses with plywood sheathing, adding the 2x6 fascia, and just wrapping up all of the other little details in preparation for the standing seam steel roof that we will be installing. We have lots to do, so let's get into it.
Loud.
Yeah.
Yep. I like these flat roofs.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, a lot easier to work with. Don't even have to put a safety harness on. No, you probably shouldn't have one on.
I think it's okay. Can you lift that side up while I lift this one up?
Hold on.
Come on. You gonna get your side up?
Hold on. I need to do it with my feet.
Why don't you just climb out onto the roof?
Okay. I didn't think you were gonna let me.
Yeah, you said it was a flat roof.
Yeah, but
Just go up there, climb over there. Okay, can you pull your end up? No, pull it up.
yeah, I know pull it up, but I can't stand on it and pull it up at the same
No,
time.
can't you grab it?
No, I can't.
Grab it from the corner.
No.
Okay, here, you
Give
come
me a
do
sec.
this side.
Give me a sec. I'll stand down here. Right? Hey. There we go.
Okay, your end up more.
I can't go up anymore. I am up against it.
Okay, now you. Okay,
I'm
good.
flush. And I'm even all the way along.
Okay, now you get back in.
Let's see.
Okay?
Thank you. sorry. I should have been on the ball.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
That's good. All right, here we are. Here's the situation at hand. So when we set these columns up, we measured off of the front wall here out to where the edge of the concrete was, and we snapped a chalk line. You can see the fades of the chalk line here. And that was in reference to where these posts need to sit based on the rafters on the outside sitting on the double LVL here. And so that worked great. The problem is when I set this corner post, we measured the distance from here and then measured the distance from here and just put it there without measuring where these rafters go. And so now we need to move the post in so that the rafters can sit on this LVL. They're out about 10 inches. So that's the situation here that we're dealing with. So yeah, my bad. I screwed up. I only measured from this side, and that all worked out great. You can see the rafter sitting on the double LVL. We got the plywood on top and everything looks good there. And so then we started to put, well, we measured it out and then realized our mistake. So we need to pull out this bracket. There's about 500 nails in that bracket. And so we need to take that bracket off and move it about 10 inches. We'll have to cut this double LVL short and move this column. I think it's about 10 inches. We're going to double check it here now and go from there. So. Here we are using the string line to verify the distance that the trusses need to span in order to ensure we move the LVL beam to the right location. With the beam marked, we can put some temporary supports underneath, move the fiberglass column out of the way, and finally make the necessary cuts. With the column put back in position and level and plumb, we could then install the brackets to hold it in place. The Sawzall makes quick work of cutting off the nails that were holding the beams together. With the beam slid over onto the column, I then use some GRK screws to bring the corner together, to lock it all into place. We then turn our attention to the other end of the beam where I need to pull all of the nails out of the bracket, move it over to the correct position, and re-secure it into place. With the beams secured, we could move on to setting the trusses for this section of roof. It starts with removing some of the overhang from the house in order to tie in the porch truss. There was a bit of a bow in the LVL beam, so I grabbed a ratchet strap to pull it in line.
APR for up to 24 months with $4,300 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit the Ford store or Ford.ca for details. Bouncing into more music you just can't quit. Lindsay's Bounce 91.9.
I guess there's a mark over on that side too.
Yep. The last set of trusses were assembled on the ground, and then we lifted them up as one unit to make it easier with assembly. With the trusses complete, I could work on installing the 2x6 fascia. was at about this point that I realized the fascia had a bit of a bow, and so I cut back a few of the trusses with the Sawzall and set up the string line to ensure it was running nice and straight. The string line works so well that we use it to also line up the hip roof so we can cut the plywood to the appropriate size. This section of fascia was just a bit short, and instead of trying to add a couple of inches, I cut it back further to scab on a board so that it would better support the fascia. With the fascia finished up, we could complete the plywood sheathing for this section of roof. With the plywood complete on the front porch roof, we could move on to the small overhang roof on the left side of the front door. This will help tie everything together. It all starts with a 2x6 header, beveled at a 45 degrees at the top, which matches the 12-12 pitch, and will support the plywood sheathing. With the rafters all installed, we could turn our attention to the 2x6 fascia. We found that the 2x6 header wasn't enough support for the rafters, and therefore we came back and added some 2x4s to provide sufficient bearing surface. With the rafters and 2x6 fascia all installed, it was time to nail on some plywood sheathing to cover it up. We could now move on to the final roof section on the front of the house, and that is this section under the dormer. We need to fill in with a header, install some rafters, finish off the 2x6 fascia, and then finally nail on some plywood sheathing. With the rafters and fascia complete, I could finally nail on the plywood sheathing.
All right, here we are. The roof is all done. Fascia is all done. It's now time to start installing the Grace Ultra ice and water shield that will go under the steel roof, the standing seam steel roof. And the roof is being delivered tomorrow, so we can start installing the Grace Ultra. So here's a look at the view of the front. We got all the little roof lines underneath the dormer complete. Along the front porch here. This roof line all done. The peak above the front door. And then the front porch. And this whole section that ties into the three-season porch there. So this roof line is all complete, and so we're going to start on this lower section of the front porch and start installing the Grace Ultra in the valleys, and then basically work from bottom to top the reverse direction of the water falling, so we can overlap any seams and that kind of stuff to ensure that we have a completely sealed up roof. So we're first going to go up on the roof, and I got the blower. We'll blow it off, make sure we've got any sand or grit or dirt off of there, and then we'll start installing the Grace Ultra. So here we go.